Well, how do you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? So, I was in the mood for some whiskey, man, and my budget is tight. But, so I've got a whiskey group on Facebook with a friend, Jeff Lyons, and there's a guy the other day posted an Evan Williams picture, and hadn't drank Evan Williams probably 2 decades, but he'd mentioned that he was slumming it, drinking some Evan Williams. I thought about that a little bit. You know, it's something my cousin Tim used to drink a lot. I thought, I don't know if Evan Williams is completely slumming it. I mean, you're not drinking Kessler 10 High or Beam 8 Star, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I found this at a store for $10.99. They had Jim Beam marked down to $11.99. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the Evan because I haven't had it for a long time. It is 86 proof, so reading just a touch from their website. 86 proof, color medium amber. I've got some neat here, and I also just poured some on the rocks. Nose, light with deep vanilla and mint. Taste, notes of oak, brown sugar, and caramel. Evan Williams is smooth, easy to drink bourbon named after Evan Williams, who in 1783 opened Kentucky's first commercial distillery along the banks of the Ohio River. Many years and barrels later, we're still producing bourbon with the same time-honored methods that Evan Williams did years ago. Today, Evan Williams is the second largest selling Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey in the U.S. and the world, distilled just a few blocks from the site where Evan himself built his distillery. Evan Williams Black is 86 proof and aged far longer than we are required by law. That proof and age leads to a bourbon that we are proud of, made our way, and that is always rich, smooth, and full of character. Sorry, my nose keeps itching on me. I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between a 3 to 4 year old. If it was a 4-year-old, they'd probably just go ahead and tell us. So again, I've got some poured neat in a Jameson glass. This one, Jameson shot glass, but this is actually a ounce and a half glass. I had an ounce and a half Jameson glass here. As you see, that is an ounce and a half. That I poured into my neat using my Bushmills glass. So I did want to try it both ways. So I'm going to drink the rocks first because I don't want it to get any more meltier. Anyways, so on the rocks, they say nose light with deep vanilla and mint. So on the rocks, I'm getting some oak. I certainly feel some vanilla and mint that they mentioned. But I am feeling a lot of oak on the nose too, which they don't mention. Oh, huh, okay. Well, I haven't had this in a while. So the smoothest bourbon I've ever had, no, but it is full of flavor. And again, keeping in mind that it was only $10.99, for the price point, it really isn't bad. A lot of folks want to mix stuff like this in Coke or various things. I don't typically do that. Every once in a while I've done a highball video, just to, kind of as a comparison. I'm not doing that today. Today I'm just going to do rocks and eat, but flavor is bold. I'm getting a lot of oak on the flavors. I'm getting they say oak, brown sugar, and caramel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all that's in there. But what else I am getting is I'm also feeling a hint of cinnamon. Yeah, there's a little bit of cinnamon comes in right on the back end, sure enough. Sure enough. Yeah, it's not bad. It really isn't. I mean, it's $10.99. It's a funny thing. There's a lot of folks. I know Jimmy Russell was one of them. Jimmy Russell Wild Turkey has mentioned that he's not a fan of long-aged bourbons. There's that school of thought that bourbons don't necessarily need 12, 16, 21 years to be at their peak. When you're looking at Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, that sort of thing. Some So as far as quality, some bourbons are really better between 4, 6, 8, and 10 years of age. And then it kind of goes downhill from there. I don't know if I agree with that school of thought completely, but the point I was trying to make is this, I'm guessing this is probably somewhere between a 3 and 4 year old bourbon. I think, again, a lot of using what I know and like about craft beer is it's about ingredients use, quality of ingredients. I like to visit a lot of craft distilleries, and a lot of those young guys are only aging their whiskeys for a very short time, some between 3 months to a year and a half, and even the quality there is just amazing. So whiskey doesn't necessarily have to be aged a long time to be very good. But you do have to start with quality ingredients. And I think sometimes what I'm going to say next is underestimated the water source. You have to have a great water source. Okay, now the more I've let this set, the more I've let this melt just a little bit using my big square cube here, I'm getting more of that brown sugar and caramel that they mentioned. I'm getting more of the sweetness. Early on, I was just getting a lot of oak and that cinnamon. Now I'm feeling more of the sweetness, the brown sugar and caramel. I'm certainly feeling some vanilla in there as well. It's what can I say? I mean, it was for an $11 whiskey. It's pretty damn fine. It really is. It ain't bad at all. It's not harsh. It won't make you make a face. I'm not a guy that likes to shoot because to me taking shots is, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's a waste, but chugging beer, doing shots serves no purpose but to get you drunker faster. At my age, at 52, I'm not trying to get drunk faster. That's what I did at 18. Okay, let's say 21 just to keep it legal, right? You want to get drunk fast. You want to get to that place right away. But at my age, I want to enjoy the scenery, I'm not, I don't need to go 110 and get to my destination. I want to go a little slower. I want to take the scenic route. I want to get on Route 66 and, see the largest ball of twine, I'm going to get to my destination at some point, but I want to take my time. So I don't really like to shoot. I take a look at the neat here, which I should have poured this in a neat glass, but I just saved time and do it right out this nice little Jameson shot glass. The nose is light. Actually, the nose is bigger from the rocks. But yeah, I do feel more mint here without the ice. Huh. Yeah, okay. Oak, brown sugar, caramel. You know what? I'm feeling it here too. Cinnamon. They don't mention cinnamon, but I'm getting spice in a big way right at the end. Certainly feel the brown sugar and caramel. I'm certainly getting a lot of vanilla, but I'm getting more oak that they don't mention a lot of oak. Well, it tastes oak, but I'm getting a lot of oak. But I'm getting that cinnamon finish, that little bit of spice in the finish that they don't mention there. So I'm going to finish my rocks up here. There are some that say putting ice in whiskey, bourbon specifically is a no-no. I don't get that pretentious. For me, drink things how you like them. I kind of go seasonally, to be honest with you. I mean, typically from about September to March, I drink mostly neat. It's chillier. I want to feel that warm. But I think there's a misconception that whiskey can't be refreshing. So I think even on a hot day, like I've got a hot, muggy day here, some whiskey on the rocks just feels good, man. It does to me, anyway. So I don't get pretentious. I do kind of I kind of cringe when people order very good whiskey, and then put soda pop in it. I go, oh God, why are you doing that? Why you do that? A whiskey, it costs $10.99 if that's what you like drink. Here I'll be honest with you. I don't know that the quality of Jack Daniels for more than twice the price is a better quality whiskey than this one is. To be honest with you, I don't know. I didn't have the money to buy a bottle of Jack Daniels to do a side by side, but I've long said that I think JD is overpriced, especially now that they've become a $20 whiskey. But again, this is a bourbon. Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. It is not a bourbon. I don't care what the government classification is. It is not a bourbon. You'd have to be a moron to think Jack Daniels is a bourbon. Here's how I know this. Walk up to the door at Jack Daniels or take the distillery tour. Ask them if their whiskey is a bourbon. They will tell you unequivocally no. Here's what you also do. Go to Bardstown, visit Jim Beam, visit Maker's Mark, visit Wild Turkey, and ask them if Jack Daniels is a bourbon. Everybody there will tell you it is not. You'd have to be a moron of epic fucking proportion to think that JD is bourbon. So, hey, there's my bourbon rant. Sorry, guys, at Evan Williams. Sometimes I go off, man. So there you go. I actually do feel more sweetness after it happens a lot when you drink with ice. There's that sweet spot, right? If you get too much meltage, it does spoil. You ruin the whole damn thing. But you get that right amount of meltage, and then you hit that sweet spot, right, where all the flavors come together and really open up in the right way. I know the first formal Scotch tasting I did several years ago, he said to put a little water in. I thought he was nuts, but he was a distiller, so I took his word for it. He's right. It does open the nose. It does open some flavors. You do get aromas. You do get flavors you didn't get before you added the water. Now, we weren't talking about adding a lot of water. I had about a half a shot of whiskey. I added a small bottle of water. I added, I don't know, maybe a couple drops, from the cap. Poured a little bit in the cap and put it in there. So, I'm not talking about a lot of water. Wow, that was good. Actually, right there, that drink right there, now I've let this cinnamon, I really felt that brown sugar. A lot of brown sugar, a lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel. Feel mostly like a darker caramel, almost like a burnt sugar caramel, you know what I mean? So the reason I want to try this one, it was only $10.99 a bottle, but I wanted to see the like the guy said, I'm slumming it with some Evan Williams. I wanted to see the rot gut factor. Do I feel this is a rot gut whiskey? No, I don't. It isn't Kessler. It isn't 10 High. It isn't Beam 8 Star. It isn't some of those other brands that I'm not mentioning at the moment. No, actually, I don't know what to say. I think for $11, it's better than it's better than some I've paid twice as much for. And I've kind of made fun of this whiskey in the past, and now I kind of feel bad for doing so. Now I'm taking an objective look at it. Taking an objective look at it, man. So now you've watched me over. I've got 3 ounces of whiskey. Now you saw me at the beginning. I've been talking about 14 minutes now. Now you can see that the whiskey's starting to take effect because I'm getting a little giggly. You're getting a little giggly, Tom. I know, man. It's working. That's how you know you got a good whiskey, man. It makes you giggly. Let's see. Does this bottle tell me anything different than I just read? Distilled from time-honored formula, originated in 1783, Evan Williams, is produced in the heart of Kentucky bourbon country. This bourbon is aged and charcoal filtered for a smoother, more complex flavor, world-renowned by bourbon lovers. Yeah, you know what? I gotta say, it ain't bad at all. In fact, I'm rather impressed. For $11, I've kind of been harsh on this whiskey in the past. But it's been a long time since I drank it. It's really not bad. There's a lot of whiskeys out there costed a whole lot more money. They're getting by more on reputation than quality anymore. And that's the kind of thing that really irritates the living crap out of me, People buy it just because of the name. And they do the same thing with beer, too. It's a lot of, kind of monkey see, monkey do behavior. Well, my daddy did this, my granddaddy drank this. I'm going to drink this whiskey with Coke. I don't care how much it costs. Drink whatever you like. What the hell do I like? You want to be a moron, spend more money than you have to? Well, you gotta be a moron. I don't give a rat's ass. But what's not going to stop me from calling you a moron? If you're a jackass, I'm going to let you know. It's kind of what I do, man. Hey, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer tonight, man. Kind of kicking back, having some Evan. I'm at my Irish pub. No, not really. That's a fake backdrop. I'm not trying to fool you. I just kind of like the way they look, man. It's my fake green screen behind you. I'm at the Irish pub, man. That's a damn fine looking pub, though. I wish I was there. Anyways, on a whiskey whisper. Whiskey Vangelist, prolific whiskey drinker. Purveyor of Wisdom, an all around good guy. Chug-a-boom.